So James, I got back from vacation recently.
It feels like it.
It feels like it.
It really does feel like it. I feel like I haven't seen you in ages.
Yeah, you'd be surprised. Like a week is a long time. It's
Yeah.
longer than you think it would be. So it was our anniversary. Khadija and I flew out to California. We did LA and San Diego together. She's from San Diego, so half of it was like kind of a semi homecoming trip, even though her family doesn't live there anymore. But it was still kind of cool because we drove around like her home city.
Oh,
And
nice.
stuff like that. But yeah, we did LA and San Diego. We did like Universal Studios, as I mentioned last Friday. We saw the Waterworld thing with the Fall Guy pre-show, and we did the Super Nintendo Land with
Oh, that's nice.
yeah, they got the Super Mario stuff, which they don't have a lot there. It's very overstimulating because like you walk through the pipe, and then boom, just Mario World all over the place, and you got things moving, you got characters around, and everyone's there, and there's one ride. There's like a Mario Kart ride, which is kind of like a game because like you sit in the cart and it drives you.
Oh, that's dope.
But you have this VR headset thing on, and you have to shoot like the Bowser people, the Bowser kids and Bowser.
Yeah, the little turtles.
Yeah.
With the glasses on.
Yeah, and then Princess Peach and Yoshi and all them are driving by you as well, so you have to try not to shoot them, and it was fun. It was cool, but it's funny because we paid extra to get into the park early so we could do it first.
Which was how much?
I couldn't tell you, like maybe $50 more or something.
Oh, okay.
Because it opened up at 9, we got in at 8, and we got to go to we walked all the way to the Mario thing first, and it was like a 10-minute, 20-minute wait to get on the ride or whatever, right? So I know, right? A lot of people paid to get in early,
Jesus.
but the rest of the day it was like a 70-minute wait. So we were smart to get in early.
Oof.
And it was cool because they make you walk through like Bowser's Castle, and theme park rides, the really good ones. The lines always have like a bit of story going on in the lines to kind of keep you preoccupied. So there would be like schematics on the wall of like the little Bowser devices he made, or like there's books, like self-help books. I think there was one
Self-help books from King Bowser?
Yeah, there was one
That's
that's like why bad things happen to good people.
That's funny.
Yeah. It was cool. It was a really nice setup, but we get all the way to the end of the line where they explain the story of the, what we're doing and why we're racing Team Bowser or whatever. And there's a bunch of kids there, obviously.
Yeah.
So one of the kids is like, it's my friend's birthday or whatever. And then the ride lady is like, oh, well, everyone whose birthday it is, come step forward. And James, I'll tell you, every one of those kids had a birthday that day.
Yeah, sure.
Because like all of a sudden, everyone's family is like, oh, it's my kid's birthday.
Oh, man, come on, man.
And they all go to the front of the line, and then they sing happy birthday to them. And then the lady's just like, all right, well, everybody get back in line. So it's funny because I think everyone was just like, oh, we get to go first.
Yeah, that's what they thought.
Yeah, but no, it's like, no, we sing happy birthday to you. Now you got to go back to the line.
Now that's funny.
It was kind of funny, but it's just like, because it was the one kid, and then she's like, oh, well, if anybody else has a birthday, please step up. And like everybody's like...
And then on the other hand, too, why would you want to make a grand gesture about that? It's like,
right?
All that just to sing happy birthday? All you had to say was, hey, anybody want to sing happy birthday?
Right.
Boom, that's it.
Right. Well, I guess it's protocol where if somebody announces it's their birthday or whatever. But anyway, so that was cool. It was a cool experience. The whole day was a cool experience. We got to do the backlot tour.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, and it's like the 60th anniversary. So they were like, this is an extra special tour. We're going to show you things that don't normally get seen on this tour. And... obviously backlots, you drive through all of the filming locations and the stage, the sound stages and whatnot. And they were like, oh, this week's a special week because they're filming season 2 of Bel Air. So you might see some of the Bel Air actors on here. And I'm just like, yeah, the popular Peacock series Bel Air, the dramatic recreation of Fresh Prince of Bel Air. That's what we're excited to see.
I was going to ask you, did you see any Clerk stuff?
No, it's not over there.
I mean, well, Clerks was Universal.
Miramax.
Oh, Miramax?
Yeah,
Oh, okay.
I don't think it was Universal. No, Mallrats was Universal.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
But yeah, no, it's not over there. Kevin Smith does live in LA though, but we didn't see him.
Yeah, did you do the Hollywood tour?
When
you guys went to LA? Did you do a Hollywood tour or you just riding around?
No, we didn't do a Hollywood tour. We just did the backlot tour at Universal Studios.
Okay, just the backlot.
Yeah,
Oh,
so
okay.
we drove through like the different filming locations. They had us set up for Nope. They moved like some of the Nope set to the tour, and they did the Amityville Island thing where you get attacked by the shark and all that stuff. it was a cool time. The tour was really cool. Learned a lot of things. That was like the first day, and then LA. You know what? People keep asking me if I saw a lot of homeless people.
Yeah, that's always seeing the trend. I'm gonna let you go because obviously you've been down there. Well, before I have, but you go.
I'll say I saw the normal amount of homeless people.
Thank you.
Like I don't know what an appropriate response to that is.
Well,
you
because
know what I mean?
You know why? Because everyone's taking a piss on LA and it's like, oh, everything's just homeless and badness.
Well, first of all, it's LA. That's where all the famous people go and are. Like, the homeless people aren't going to be there. They're going to kick them out. They're going to send them down to San Francisco.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So, no, we saw a normal amount of homeless people. It's not overrun by the homeless.
It's not.
It's don't listen to the propaganda.
Please
folks.
Don't, people. Stop listening to the propaganda.
And I'll tell you something else. Before we left, like they were saying like gas over there is like $7.29. It's $5 something. So still expensive. Don't get me wrong.
No doubt, yeah.
But not $7. Like I felt lied to. I was like, they lied to me. I was expecting $7 gas.
Did you guys Uber?
No, we drove. We had a rental car.
Yeah, a rental car.
And we were lucky enough to get a Mustang convertible.
Oh,
so we were in California in style, James. We were doing it up nice. And like I said, we spent like half the time in LA, and LA was kind of cool, but like traffic is like really bad.
Yeah.
Honestly, worse than Houston, which surprised me. But it also surprised me because I guess like in LA you don't really take the freeway as much, or I guess you don't take the freeway to get places like you would Houston, which I mean kind of makes sense in hindsight. But yeah, man, it took us like an hour and a half to get to from the airport rental place to the Airbnb, and it was only 15 minutes away.
Jeez.
Or 15 miles away. It took like an hour and a half to get there. We didn't get into the B&B until like 8 o'clock, and I was dead because I had breakfast that morning, and that was it. I didn't have a lunch. I didn't have anything else.
So you didn't eat nothing for the rest of the day?
Not until we got to the B&B.
Man, that sucks.
We went out to dinner, and yeah, that was the first time I got to eat that night.
God, man.
Yeah. So, and then the next day we did Universal, and then we went to Fogo de Chao on our anniversary. So we did Fogo de Chao in LA.
Oh, okay, nice.
It was, and it kind of wasn't, because it was also stressful.
What you mean?
Because like Fogo de Chao, like the Brazilian steakhouses, they bring you, like they give you a little coin.
Yeah, they bring you, yeah. Mm-hmm.
And, you know, after you get like a plate full of stuff, you flip it over and they still bring you stuff.
Yep.
But yeah, so it was semi-stressful. It was also our first time being there. So we sat down and we were like, oh, I guess we're going to do like the normal thing that everybody does. Because the waiter gave us like a list of options where it's like, this is 70, this is like 150. We're like, we'll take the $70 option. Like,
yeah.
And then the guy walks away and like, we don't have plates, we don't have anything. We're like, are they just gonna bring it? Yeah. And it turns out there's like a little buffet thing, which I didn't know about. And obviously people listening might be like, yeah, it's Fogo de Chao. You didn't know there was a buffet section? No. I don't go to Brazilian.
Yeah. I'm sorry. I don't have money falling out my ass, so I can just go, oh, let's just go to Brazilian. Like, yeah. Come on, man.
But we finally figured it out. We had a nice meal there, and then like we drove back home or whatever. And the next day we got up and we went to San Diego. San Diego was awesome.
Whole lot more different vibe.
Oh my god, I loved it because it's stretched out enough to where it feels like a town, but then like down the road there's a city.
Yeah, mm-hmm.
You know what I mean. So we were like where we stayed. It was like 20 minutes away from everything. We did Khadija's little like this is where I went to school. This is where my grandmother lived. Like we did that little tour. That was great. I think we went to like 2 or 3 beaches in like the same day. One day we went to the San Diego Zoo. We saw a concert. We did so much stuff.
San Diego's a beautiful place. That's why I'm still so surprised they don't have a football team. They took the football team from there.
They don't have a football team?
Well, they took it from there and they put it in L.A. L.A. Rams and L.A. Chargers now.
Oh.
So they like, I thought that was so wild to me. I was like, San Diego is such a nice place.
Yeah.
It's a beautiful place to raise children and raise families.
It's fantastic. If California wasn't so expensive, I'd be like, we could go to San Diego.
Oh, yeah, without a doubt.
Like, I'd stay in San Diego.
Yeah, it's beautiful.
Like, we literally just hung out on a beach for like an hour one day, just sitting on the sand, watching the waves. Mm-hmm. Sun was out, but it didn't feel hot. No humidity. Perfect weather the whole time. Like,
you can tell the place is still thriving.
Oh yeah,
it's still business, still booming.
Bunches of small businesses all over the place, and it's funny because I was telling Khadija that like the architecture there is different.
Yeah,
and it's interesting because you forget like America is so big in general that like every state is kind of its own country, especially because like every state has its own set of laws and rules and whatnot, and we're really just a bunch of individual countries living as one. So it's cool when you go to a different region or area, and you can tell there's different architecture, like there's different, you know, there's a diverse group of people all over the place, I should say.
That was California.
Yeah, well, yeah.
But just better than that.
Yeah, so it was such a great trip. And we were there for a week, and we came back, and evidently Houston got flooded. Well, it was gone.
Some parts
or Kingwood got flooded.
Yeah, Kingwood mostly.
Yeah. Houston had a bunch of torrential rain and stuff.
Yeah,
which I'm glad I missed out on.
Yeah, you really did.
That was the worst part of the trip. When we came back in, we landed early, but we were stuck on the tarmac for like an hour, and I had family coming to pick me up, or pick us up, I should say. I had family coming to pick us up, and they get to the airport right on time, right when we were supposed to land. And so they had to drive around the airport for like an hour. They finally parked somewhere, but it was they kept calling me, and they're like, "Hey, where you at?" We're like, "We're stuck on the plane. We can't
go anywhere.
We can't get off."
Yeah.
I'm like, "I'm sorry, you know, I told you could have been late, but you weren't late."
What airport were you guys at? Hobby?
Bush.
Bush.
Yeah, we always fly out of Bush. We never really fly out of Hobby. I don't like Hobby too much.
I never flew on a Hobby. I always flew on
the area around Hobby is so weird to me. It's like it's an airport, but the area around is just kind of dingy.
It's kind of sketchy.
Yeah.
I was like, what the hell is this? When I first saw Hobby Airport, I thought it was something else. I was like, what the hell is this?
Right. Like, if you were to drive there and park your car,
no,
you wouldn't.
Never.
Wouldn't want to do that.
Not in a million years.
No. It's terrible.
Because it's in Bush Intercontinental, you got Echo Park.
You got Echo Park at your humble Kingwood area, which are really nice areas.
It is.
But yeah, you go down the Hobby and you're like, what the heck?
Yeah. Yeah, especially at night.
Yeah.
Got some stories on that one.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, I got some stories on Hobby.
Oh man. Yeah.
Don't do it, folks.
Tales for another time.
Tales for another time. Coming soon.
Yeah, right. But no, it was a good time, good vacation. However, I will say I need a vacation from the vacation because I got back, I had like a day or two off, and then I got right back to work, and then work decided to give me extra work. So now I'm doing more at work, and I think next time I take a vacation, I just want to do like a staycation.
Stay home?
Yeah, you know what I mean? Like I really just want to have like 3 days off to just stay home and not spend money. I spend a lot of money. Let me just say, I gotta...
Oh, yeah. If you're going to California, you definitely spending a lot more money than you ever been used to.
Yeah. Let me tell you, I got to start selling flip picks again. You know?
Yeah, I hear you. That's why it's very important that people subscribe to our podcast so we can make some money.
Yeah, man. You know, we get some ad reads or something.
Yeah, get some ad reads going.
Get some revenue.
Well, I'm glad you was on vacation. I need to go on vacation next.
Yeah, you should.
Starting to get a little bit drained here.
Yeah, man.
So I definitely need to go on vacation.
No, I get it. Because before we left, I was feeling it.
Yep.
You know, just stress from work, stress from everything else. So
yeah, it's definitely time.
It was definitely refreshing.
Don't get me wrong. I enjoy doing this podcast, but it's definitely time for vacate time.
Yeah, definitely. Everyone should take a vacation.
Oh, they should. Most definitely. I mean, work in general, whether you're doing podcasting, whether you're doing radio, it can be a lot. It can be a lot. And I've seen a lot of podcasters just lose their minds to the point where they just like, I don't want to do it no more.
Yeah.
And they take like a 3, sometimes a 4-month hiatus.
Yeah.
And you don't see them anymore.
Yeah.
You know, I don't want to be that person.
Right.
You know, that's why it's very important to take vacations when you can. Sometimes you might have to take one for a good week, and then you come back, refresh. Then you might have to take another one another week.
Yeah.
It's just the way it is sometimes, you know. But yeah, I'm glad you had a good time though. Well, from one California person to another California person, Mr. Kendrick Lamar. I know you've been gone for a week or two, but so you don't know what's been going on.
I've seen bits and pieces about it, and I've seen the memes. And before you get into it, I will say my favorite meme that's come out of this beef that we're about to get into is, you remember Fairly Odd Parents?
Yes.
You remember how Timmy's dad always hated the neighbor Dinkelberg?
Yep.
So one of Kendrick's diss raps, right? He's like, I hate the way you talk. I hate the way you walk. I hate blah, 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 blah. There's been influencers doing the bit where they dress up like the dad from Fairly Odd Parents.
The glasses on.
Yeah, and they're also playing the neighbor, right? So like the caption is, "This is how Timmy's dad was to the neighbor," and they would just like lip sync to the song. It was
That's funny. I haven't seen that one.
The perfect meme from that diss rap was just like someone cosplaying as Timmy Turner's dad.
That's funny. I might have to watch
doing his diss rap to Dinkelberg.
I've been seeing so many memes about this beef.
Yeah,
and it's been pretty funny, man. It all started just two hip hop heads, and it was really fun. It started with Drake. He dropped a track a long time ago, like a month ago,
which is crazy because like this thing's been going on for a while. I remember you kind of mentioned it like a few episodes ago. Yeah, like you dropped a hint at it and it exploded.
It just exploded.
It went from 0 to 60 real freaking fast.
Okay, Drake and J. Cole did this song called First Person Shooter, where it's just like, hey, we the two guys, they're talking their stuff. We the two guys on top of the mountain. We the big heads. And Kendrick Lamar, he's a part of the big three because they really are the big three of hip hop. When you think about hip hop nowadays, you think about Drake, Kendrick Lamar, and J. Cole. Yeah. In no specific order. Those are the three guys you think of. But with Kendrick Lamar, I don't know whether this beef started with him and Drake, but he seemingly does not like Drake. Obviously, that seems to be the point. So he drops a track. Well, he didn't drop a track, but he was featured on a track with another artist named Future. And it was really, really good. It was really, really good. And he started shooting at Drake and J. Cole. Then J. Cole comes to fire back with his little diss track towards Kendrick Lamar. And then all of a sudden, he goes on stage, live tour. He says, "Hey,
he backed out of it."
He backed out of it. Yeah. And Kendrick and J. Cole have always been really, really cool. Yeah. So it was kind of weird to see those two guys got to go at it. But when J. Cole backed out, people were calling him this. They were calling him a punk. They were calling him like, "Oh man, you don't. It's just competitive. Why you don't want to fight? Why you don't want to lyrically why you don't want to fight?"
And we soon learned.
Why. Because, Drake, he goes with his diss track to the Kendrick. And then after that, Kendrick drops his diss track of Euphoria. And then Drake drops another diss track with AI, which I hated, by the way, because he used AI Tupac and AI Snoop Dogg, which you clearly knew that was not them. Jeez. And it's just ballooned. And then Kendrick just dropped 2 nuclear songs.
Was it
after
2
that.
or 3?
3.
It was like back to
back. Because then after Taylor Made, then Kendrick dropped his track, and then after that, Drake dropped Family Matters, and then after that, he immediately, right after that, the same night on that same Friday, Kendrick dropped 2 tracks within 72 hours.
Jeez.
And I'm just like... Insane. This guy had a lot in the chamber. Yeah. And he had a lot to say. He did. And it was really cool at first, these two guys going back at each other. But then once you start hitting to... Because, Drake likes to date young women.
Yeah. I mean, there was a whole thing with Millie Bobby Brown a long time ago.
Exactly. And all this stuff is alleged. Yeah. There's no proof on any of this stuff. It's just that we've always seen him hang around certain people of a certain age. Certain women of a certain age.
But, nowadays, especially this year, a lot of things are coming out. We had the Quiet on Set thing, the P. Diddy thing. I mean, Cat Williams started the year off already exposing some people.
You're really right.
So... is it that much of a shocker? Also, I don't know. I think people already kind of thought Drake was a little bit of a creep for a few years now.
I don't think he's a creep, but yeah.
I think so.
I don't think he's a creep. I just think that he's of a popular status. Mm-hmm. Women like him. And you got to be very, very careful of who these women that you talk to of a certain age, because they look a certain age. Yeah. And Drake actually started with the personal blows. Yeah. And he mentioned his, Kendrick's wife, and they mentioned her of a color, different white color, mixed reaction. Then he also said you beat on her. So now we're starting to hit into like the Me Too type stuff now. Yeah. Because now you're talking about pedophilia. Yeah. And that's stuff that you don't want to play with.
Metro Boomin caught some strays.
He caught some strays too. Tell him to get back on the drums.
He said something, and they were like, "Oh, let's pull up your tweets." Yeah. Some of which he did make when he was like 15, 16 or whatever. Yeah. Some of it was a little bit more recent from what I understand. So,
but with these two artists, these two accomplished artists, I'm not gonna say one's better than the other because both of them make music for whoever likes it.
I think Kendrick is a better lyricist.
Oh yeah, without a doubt.
I mean, I don't really listen to like rap that much. Yeah. But from the stuff that I've heard from Kendrick, very good.
Oh yeah, without a doubt.
And yeah, I really just,
well,
he's the better lyricist.
Kendrick's the more conscientious rapper.
Yeah.
He's the one that's going to always mention what's going on in today's society.
Right.
And Drake is kind of the guy that you run to for hits.
Well, I don't know. For a while, I think he was just kind of like the sad boy rapper, right? He was
Kinda,
always the
sorta.
guy who was like...
Always singing about his relationships with different women.
Yeah, or like,
kind of like
the relationship's going wrong, or like him being like screwed up. That used to be a meme. Was
You're
like,
100% right.
Yeah.
You're 100% right on that. And he's kind of always been that guy. And he always kind of dwindles between rapping and singing.
Yeah.
So, you're going to have a function of hip-hop heads that don't like that type of stuff. And then you're going to have the side of people that don't like Kendrick stuff. They feel like he's boring.
Yeah.
So it's just like, it's pretty much whatever you like. But when these two started taking these type of pot shots, and like I said, you start talking about woman abusers, and you start talking about pedophilia, then that's when you start going, what's that old saying? When they hit low, you supposed to hit high.
Yeah.
These guys went straight to the basement, and they went straight to hell. Yeah. At that point, they went straight to hell, and they battled it out. And it's just like, how far is too far?
Right.
Because you don't. That's pedophilia is the stuff you don't want attached to your name, dude. And that's serious stuff. You can mess up your name. Yeah. You can mess up your brands, and things that you have going.
And again, that's something that's getting exposed and getting thrown around a lot.
Exactly. So you really have to be careful about you throwing that stuff out. Yeah. And Kendrick, he threw that stuff out there, and Drake shot it down with his last diss track. Mm-hmm. And that last diss track, let me tell you, it was not good.
That's what I heard.
It was just like more of him explaining himself. And he's saying that he fed all his information to Kendrick about him having a child and all that type of stuff, which I don't know, why would you want to feed this to another person of your camp? Yeah. To Kendrick Lamar, when you already know that you have a child that you knowingly hid. So why would you want to drug up more stuff like that? So that sounds even more stupid.
Yeah. Well, sometimes these beefs are manufactured.
Sometimes, yeah.
For example, MGK and Eminem. For the most part, I think low-key everyone kind of knows that like that rap beef was kind of like a corporate decision. Because they were dropping fully produced music videos back to back a day after the tracks came out.
And Drake did too. Now, he dropped that
Family Matters. He had a music video?
Only one for Family Matters. Damn. And that was like really well produced. Right. So
like suspiciously produced, right? Just like you couldn't have done this in a day.
Yeah, no, because it took him like a week to respond. Yeah. So yeah, he definitely had some time to do that one, but I don't think this was barely manufactured, because once you start mentioning those type of things, those type of crimes, then that's when you kind of like, that's not manufactured. This is real stuff now. Right. This is real life stuff that can get people irreparable harm. Yeah. And the thing about it is, when you mention this stuff, nothing's going to be done about it. No. So why would you even want to mention something like that? Why would you want to play with women abusing? That's just not in today's society, like you said. Right. That's stuff that you don't want to play with. Right. And a lot of the MCs, a lot of the old school heads are like, this is not what we meant when we went, lyric bar for bar. This is not what we meant to start all this ruckus. And all this ruckus. Yeah, all this stuff. You know how old school heads are. Yeah. And Kendrick dropped the track right before Drake dropped his last track called Not Like Us. And it mentioned him once again about not being black enough, or being a culture vulture, which, I don't know how I feel about that, because a lot of people are culture vultures. Mm-hmm. And I'm just of the opinion that, my main problem has always been with Drake is the tough guy, the big tough guy stuff. It's just like, he acts like a big tough guy. Like, and all his music is like, hey, I got my mob with me. I got all these. It's like, dude, no, you're not. You're not a tough guy. Yeah. You're the guy that we saw from Degrassi, Jimmy in the wheelchair. He'll never be able to escape that. No, yeah, you're right. No matter how many records he puts out, no matter how many cornrows he does to his hair, right? No matter how many, fancy clothes and sexy women that he's with, he'll never be able to escape that he was that corny kid from Degrassi. Mm-hmm. And I see that he's tried to shed himself away from that. But now, when Drake first came out, he was never like this. He was actually pretty cool. Yeah. But as he got older, he just became this somebody where I just really, really don't like anymore. Yeah. But music-wise, still puts out some pretty damn good music. I'll admit that. Yeah. But now that everything has been settled, the dust is settled, it's been a clear winner now. Kendrick Lamar is a clear winner. Drake sounds tired and weary. I think last week.
I mean, you get hit by 3 tracks back to back. Like,
oh yeah.
There's no response.
Yeah, that last track, man, he sounded like a man that's just tired and just beaten up and bruising.
Yeah.
And then now he got a security guard. He got shot outside of his mansion.
Yeah.
And people are trying to blame Kendrick Lamar, which we don't know the details on any of that. Dude, like,
right.
Jacob, I don't know any details about it. I'm just adding this to the story.
Yeah, you're right. I mean, because it happened recently. People are kind of jumping on the story. By the time this episode comes out, we'll probably have an answer. Exactly. This will probably be a dated conversation.
I know Fox News was like, well,
Fox
Drake,
News was in on this.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. All the outlets were in on this, man. Black people in hip hop. Come on now. Where's Geraldo when you need him?
Yeah.
So I know that there was one vandalism going on with the OVO store. Mm-hmm. And they were Not Like Us off of Kendrick's last disc.
Yeah.
That was his last diss track. And so that was Kendrick Lamar related, but that was just like fans.
Yeah.
Fans are going to do, they trolling. So they figure
fans are crazy.
Fans are crazy. And that's what you have to lie about when you have these beefs and stuff. Mm-hmm. Because you got these crazy fans. And not to mention, you got people in your inner circle that might not like the person that you're beefing with.
Yeah.
And they might not like you.
Right.
So they might try to it might be a setup sometime.
Yeah.
So it's just all those type of things that you have to worry about when there's a beef. And now we look at J. Cole as the smartest man alive.
Yeah, you're right. I've seen all the memes about him too.
Yeah, it's like he's sitting back like, let's see why I didn't get involved?
Yeah.
Because I knew you guys, I knew they were going to take it personal.
Have you seen the clip of T-Pain on one of his streams, I guess the chat? Because, T-Pain
he has
streams.
a YouTube channel.
Yeah, he has a YouTube channel. I think he does Twitch and stuff too.
Yeah, he does Twitch too.
But I guess one of his people, his followers were like, hey, what do you think about the rap beef between Drake and Kendrick? And he was like, I'm gonna mind my business. That's what I think about it. And
exactly.
It's like, just listen to the songs, man. Enjoy the music.
Listen to the songs, man.
I don't know. I love seeing T-Pain stuff pop up.
Oh, he's funny.
His YouTube channel and stuff. Like I anytime I see a clip, I know he has a podcast as well, and it makes me want to listen to it because it's just
he's funny, man.
Yeah, I don't know. Ever since he started doing that, I was like, oh, T-Pain is pretty cool.
Yeah, it's like when you do a beef, I don't know what's to become of a beef at the end. Like, there's no championship belt.
No, there's not. You throw a couple tracks back and forth. I assume at one point it was supposed to be like a fun thing.
It was. Right? It was. Well, at least we all thought it was going to be that way.
And then Kendrick is apparently somebody you just don't have.
You don't mess.
You don't do a diss battle.
And it's just like he took it to the basement. I think that he really does not like Drake.
Yeah,
Drake did not know that Kendrick felt this deeply about him.
Yeah,
this deeply hurt about Drake. I mean, about Kendrick. So that's what I think happened there.
Yeah,
but beefs have been going on for years, as we know, even within country music.
Yeah, right.
Sweet Home Alabama was a diss track.
To the governor or mayor of Alabama?
No. It was another artist that wrote another song.
Was it another artist? I thought it was because he got banned from like some town or something.
No. I forgot. I think Sweet Home Alabama was to another artist. I'm not mistaken.
Hang on.
You can look it up.
Yeah, I am gonna look it up because I'm pretty sure it was like to the mayor.
It might have been to the mayor.
He mentions the mayor in the damn song.
Well, look, it might have been a diss track. As Drake has proven,
that is true. Yeah.
A diss track can go out to several people. Because Drake dissed several people in one of his diss tracks. So it can go out to several people. So it don't matter. It don't have to be just one person. But diss tracks have been going on for years. Paul McCartney used to write diss tracks. So, it's something that's not uncommon. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So it's nothing, it's not uncommon place. That's what I mean. So it was fun while it lasted. I'm glad it's over. We can move on now with our life. Like I said, there's no championship belt. There's no championship rings. No one cares at the end of the day. We'll look back at it and say, man, that was a fun time in hip hop. And boom, that's it.
Okay, so the lines in Sweet Home Alabama are a direct response to Young's anti-racist, anti-cross-burning Southern Man in Alabama songs. Leonard Skinner's comeback was intended to mean, at first glance, thank you for your opinion, Neil. Now leave us alone. Mm-hmm. So it was a response to somebody.
Okay.
Yeah. To Neil Young.
Okay.
Because he mentions Neil Young in a song.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Ronnie Van Zant, Ed King, and Gary Rosington wrote the song, which is a response to Neil Young's 1970 song Southern Man.
Yeah, there we go.
The song has been perceived as an anthem of Southern pride,
Mm-hmm.
but was also intended to remind the rest of America that not all Southerners are rednecks.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
And there was, yeah.
Yeah, yeah. Mm-hmm.
And then the song includes a reference to George Wallace, a controversial Alabama governor who was elected in 1963 and famously said, "I draw the line in the dust and toss the gauntlet before the feet of tyranny, and I say segregation now, segregation tomorrow, segregation forever." The song also includes the lyrics, "In Birmingham, they love the governor, boo, boo, boo."
Yep. Man, I couldn't stand George Wallace. I don't think the world is so good. So
Yeah.
ugh.
You know, we need more beefs in other genres than rap.
Oh yeah, I would love it because for some reason,
I want to see like two rock bands go at it. I want to see.
well, I think they used to be beasts with rock bands, but they never was.
They don't
diss
get
tracks.
publicized like
they don't get publicized
like rap beefs,
like
right?
Obviously,
yeah. Like they don't get publicized like the diss tracks.
yeah,
do.
we know why.
Yeah,
So
but,
it's just
But it would be cool just to be like this rock band and this rock band have created albums fighting each other.
Because we all know that. I think that was a whole bunch of bands. I mean, I think you probably know better than me.
Yeah,
There were a couple bands that had beef with each other.
yeah.
You know, I think Red Hot Chili Peppers had beef with what's that damn band? Oh man. So we should look this stuff up before we started.
I bet you Joel's listening right now and he's like yelling
Yeah, right.
about who it is because he would know. I bet he would know.
Yeah. Because I knew of a couple rock band beefs, but I just can't off the top of my head. I don't want to get them wrong.
Mr. Bungle. Mr. Bungle and the Red Hot Chili Peppers.
Yep.
Mike Patton from Mr. Bungle and Anthony Kiedis of the Red Hot Chili Peppers.
Yeah, I remember that one.
There we go. I have no idea who Mr. Bungle is, so I'm assuming the Chili Peppers won that one.
I heard about that one. Yeah, I never knew who he was, but yeah, I remember I heard about that beef.
That's funny. Hold on, Mr. Bungle. Video.
But you're right though. Like you say, you're right. There's a whole bunch of rock bands that have beef with each other. They're just not very publicized.
They should be. They should be more.
They should be. They really should be. Maybe they probably would ignite the rock community a lot more.
You're right. Yeah, I can't find it like a direct reason. So outside of a YouTube video, I'm not gonna sit here and watch a YouTube video to explain it, but apparently, yeah, Red Hot Chili Peppers and a group called Mr. Bungle had an issue with each other, and Mr. Bungle is no longer a band. Red Hot Chili Peppers are still making music and touring. So
I guess that's the W in beefs. I guess.
Yeah, there you go.
Like,
There's your win.
At the end of the day, with Drake and Kendrick, these guys are gonna keep making music whether we like it or not.
I mean, and in 2 weeks, people are going to forget about this. It'll be somebody else.
It'll be another beef.
Yeah.
But hopefully,
It was interesting to find out that Taylor Swift's producer is the same producer for Kendrick Lamar.
Yeah.
That was interesting.
Yeah.
Which people don't think about how versatile producers are.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? Like music producers, they produce everything and anything they possibly can. So it was an interesting thing to learn.
This is plenty of them. Like you look like you could be a producer.
I don't really do music too much.
A shady producer.
A shady producer.
I'm kidding.
No.
You're a shady producer.
No. But I will say, the part of the reason we probably don't hear about like rock beefs as much is because I feel like with like rap tracks, you can get a beat out quicker.
True.
Than you can a whole like rock song.
As we can see, yeah.
Or country song or whatever kind of genre you want. I think as far as beats go, that you just need to lay a rap over.
True.
You can get those out quick.
Because you're right. You got a point.
But to get a whole ensemble of like, all right, we need guitars and drums and blah blah blah. You're right. A rock beef would go like weeks and months at a time, where a rap beef is like, hey, cool, let's put a beat together real quick. Bam, there we go. Let me lay some bars over it.
I mean, you're 100% right, because like for Kendrick, it took this man damn near, because his last album was 2022.
Yeah.
And his album before that, it was like damn near 2017.
Yeah, and he spit out, 4 songs in a week?
Yeah. So in one of the lines of Drake's song, he's like, I'm glad I was able to get you to come in the studio. It's like, yeah, you got a point on that one. Because, man, he spit them songs out pretty doggone quick. But like you said, it's not hard. No,
you get a good beat together. You just put some bars over something you can rap to.
He probably already had this ready too.
You're right. He might have already had some beats on the back burner. He was like, you know what, I was gonna make an album with these, but
because that last one, well, not the last one, but the last one before, when he did 616, because that was the diss track that he was writing to Drake's son and to basically writing to his whole family.
Yeah,
you see where the disrespect was just getting real deep.
I got a funny story about that one.
Mm-hmm.
So obviously, all these articles and stuff are coming out talking about the rap beefs and whatever, and they brought up 616, and this is how I knew the beef was getting ridiculous. Is I saw two articles, one of which was they brought in One Piece, the anime manga One Piece, into the freaking rap battle with 616, because it was this article talking about how I guess like chapter 616 of One Piece is titled Anniversary for Revenge. And I'm like, are you freaking kidding me? Like, it goes this deep? Like what is happening? And then the second article I saw, James, this one's real funny, was an article. The headline had mentioned that Obama predicted this beef 8 years ago in some sort of interview. And I was just like, this is now ridiculous. Well, I no longer care about this.
Well, it's definitely cool to see the anime community getting in on it. Cause I did see a couple memes from the anime.
It was hilarious.
I thought that was kind of cool.
Like, damn. Yeah, I know. Kendrick was telling me, like, everyone's been using, like, some of Kendrick's, some of his lines in, like, these little AMV animated music videos for the anime.
Yeah, that's what I'm about to say that. Yep. Yeah. It's been kind of funny watching those, but I'm glad no one's getting hurt. You know, I'm glad everything's
outside of a security guard.
Yeah. And we don't mean to laugh at anybody getting shot, but I'm just like, cause we don't know. I'm
laughing at your reaction. I'm not laughing at the security.
Yeah, we're not laughing at the situation, but it's just like, cause we don't know what that was associated or not. So, which I'm pretty sure it wasn't.
Yeah,
I think people just overreacting. I think,
of course.
Yeah, I think they're just trying to
poor coincidence, right?
Yeah, it was just a bad poor coincidence. Timing. That's bad timing. Like, that's really bad timing, man. Like, we couldn't have done this like a month ago, or like 2 months later. Like, come on, man. I know Kendrick Lamar was at his house like, God damn. They gonna blame me for this. They gonna blame me for this, ain't they? They gonna blame me for this. So yeah, I'm glad everything's okay. I'm glad it's ended, and I just want to talk about it a little bit. So that's all I got for today.
Yeah, man. No, I mean I've been seeing the memes and stuff. It's, you know, you see so much of something, and at some point you just kind of like stop caring. You know what I mean?
Like I said, it got a little bit too much for me, man. I was like, oh, man, we hitting into some dark territory.
Well, I mean, it got too much when I saw the article about, like, how is One Piece related to the rap beef?
I wish I would have saw more of that. Yeah, man.
Obama, you're bringing in what the?
Everybody want in on it, man.
Everybody wants.
Come on, man. You know how it goes. Once something happens, everybody want in on it.
Oh, man.
The new trend, everybody wants in on the new trend.
Wait until Donald Trump brings in the Kendrick Lamar diss traps into his trial.
Not like us. He gonna make a diss track, and now like, oh god,
man.
Oh man, but that's all I got.
That's all you got today?
Yeah, that's all I got.
That's all I got, man. I had a vacation. Some rappers got into it. That's a good Monday.
It is. That's a normal Monday.
It's a good episode for us. So if you want to contact us, if you want to email us about California or rap battles or even beefs, if you know of any kind of music beef that's not a rap beef, that two bands, two country artists, two whatever had songs back and forth about each other, or like an album, maybe some rare album, let us know. I'm actually interested in knowing. Email us at onthegopod2023@gmail.com. You can find us on Instagram at onthego with Jacob and James. It's all one word. You can find me on Instagram at jacobdantone.audio. You can find James on Instagram at
James9794.
And you can find us on YouTube, On The Go with Jacob and James. And I know we've gotten some emails from some listeners recently, James, that we haven't been able to address yet. But have no fear, we will address you. We're a little backed up. We've got a lot going on, so just keep emailing us things. We're gonna do a special email episode. That's what we should do, James.
Oh, that'd be nice.
We should have an email answering episode. I think that'll be really good. So
yeah, that'd be cool.
Send us a bunch of emails, and we'll just do a whole episode dedicated to listener emails. So without further ado, I'm on the go. James is on the go. Drake's on the go somewhere. So we'll talk to you next time.